Preparing your mind and body for birth. I'm sitting here with Lucy Herker. She is the founder of LucyLouMotherNurture.com, and she's a doula, and she knows everything there is to know about birthing. So I'm so glad you were here, because we are talking about this topic that I guess can be so daunting for a lot of mums. It is daunting because your whole body's gone through so many changes. So how can we prepare ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And our mums are coming into pregnancy now at a time when they're already at the top of their game professionally, and then they're pregnant and boom, they're in the deep end.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to get educated about. But I would encourage mums to be educated about all things birth.
Right.
Making sure that they have a bit of a sense of the physiology of birth, what's actually happening in their body, what's happening in baby's body,
right.
How they can use certain hormones that are going to be automatically produced in labour, how they can actually enhance them so that they can have the swiftest and most comfortable labour possible.
Right.
All that sort of information is really key. Also understanding what forms of intervention are available during labour. So you might be thinking heat pack, or you might be thinking epidural,
right.
but there's a whole lot of resources in between there that you can get in the know about, and understanding the advantages and disadvantages of any given procedure or form of intervention as well is really key.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, you know, it's really important for mums to know before they go into labour, because once labour begins, well, it's already taking its twists and turns potentially, and we want mum to be ahead of the game in a sense.
Well, I think your online resource is a great source for mothers who are looking for that information, right?
Yeah.
So LucyLouMotherNurture.com is the site to visit, and they can get some more of those tips.
They can, absolutely. And that information is actually delivered weekly according to a pregnant mum's gestation.
Right.
So you don't have to do any searching or faffing around trying to work out what you're supposed to be doing. So that can be really helpful. I think really in terms of getting your mind into the game too, you want to be creating some kind of birth plan, even if you're calling it a birth preference sheet. So forming some preferences around what you can have preferences about, which is a lot of things actually.
Yeah.
And then remembering though at all times to have an adaptable headspace.
Okay.
So birth takes all manner of twists and turns, and mum needs to be ready to go where her body and her baby take her, and to really just embrace the process as it unfolds.
Don't fight it.
If she can do that,
Yeah.
if she can do that, she's going to be working with her body's hormones too. So again, it comes back to having a more swift labour and a more comfortable one too, which is what we want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding your own body, recognising and listening to your own body and responding to that, rather than fighting whatever's going on in your body.
Absolutely.
Your body's amazing when you're in that birthing unit, the things that it can do.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think too, another thing would be to make sure that you've got a bit of an understanding of how breastfeeding works.
Right.
Because that first feed, of course, will be in the delivery ward or wherever you've birthed your baby. Baby will be brought straight up to your chest. And if you've got a bit of an idea of how breastfeeding works, that can be a really helpful thing. I think to get into the headspace of pregnancy and your baby, bonding with baby, enjoying those movements. You can play music to your baby, talk to your baby, sing over your baby. They're all really beautiful things to be doing to prepare your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
For this long journey. And I think you talked about something important there, our mind. We need to prepare our mind.
Yes.
So how can we get that into game mode?
Yeah, well, certainly by going through those things and getting educated would be your key thing.
Right.
I think the other thing as well, in terms of our bodies, is, and it's interesting because we talk about the mind first, because actually labour is really a mind game.
Yeah.
The physicality of it is absolutely there as well, but it's a secondary thing really, which is quite counterintuitive, I think. But making sure that you're doing some beautiful stretches and that your stamina is good for labour as well. So maybe looking at doing some things that work on your fitness level as well. But there are some excellent resources out there in terms of prenatal specialists in exercise.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for hanging out today. I hope that's helped you. Don't forget to check her out. LucyLouMotherNurture.com is the website to get some other great tips. But look, keep it locked right here. Mum's at the table, and click here for more.